Hello, Grace Church. I know all of you have been wondering what the next steps are for worshiping together. So today, I want to share with you just some of the work the operational team has been doing over these weeks during the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, the 6 pastors appointed by Bishop Ken Carter, Bishop of the Florida area of the United Methodist Church, make up the Grace Church operational team. Now, this team is charged with leading the whole of Grace Church with our day-to-day challenges and our opportunities. Serving on this team are Wes Olds, Cape Coral campus pastor; Sherry Lacey, Fort Myers Shores campus pastor; Ed Horn, Fort Myers Central campus pastor; Patty Namazi, Sarasota campus pastor; Arlene Jackson, pastor of Recovery Ministries; and me, lead pastor of Grace Church. Now, as you can imagine, we've been meeting regularly to navigate these uncertain times of the pandemic. Every week, we're making decisions as to our next steps as a church. We have a ministry action plan, or what we call a MAP, that keeps us on task and up to date in our preparation. In seeking to listen to the Holy Spirit as we make decisions, we try to balance our deep desire to protect everyone's health during this COVID-19 pandemic, as well as our longing to be together in community. Protecting health and being together in community are, in the words of Andy Stanley, a tension that we manage and not a problem that we solve. Now, it helps to think biblically at all times, but especially during these times of uncharted circumstances. Remember, none of us has been here before. And one helpful biblical principle that drives our decisions is this one day at a time principle. From the Old and New Testament, the biblical writers affirm having a day-by-day perspective. When the Hebrews were wandering in the wilderness for 40 years, God provided daily bread and meat. Jesus taught us to pray, "Give us this day our daily bread." There's a goodness and a rightness to living one day at a time. It keeps our faith in and trust of God up to date. So using both the wisdom of the Bible and the ever-changing information around the coronavirus, it seemed good to the Holy Spirit in us to give regular, ongoing updates as to our next steps as a church. So here's our most recent update. Now, currently at Grace Church, all campuses are closed. All worship, children, youth, adult, and recovery ministries are online. As the stay-at-home restrictions are being relaxed, we can begin to consider what ministries can begin to re-engage in physical spaces. So with this in mind, the Grace Church operational team has made the following decisions that are effective Monday, June 1st. Number 1, the offices of all of our campuses of Grace Church will reopen during their normal office hours. Now, these times are different at all 4 campuses. Before this day, the offices and any spaces that are used will be thoroughly cleaned. Number 2, we're asking that every person coming into our buildings be temperature checked. If a person's temperature is above 100 degrees, they will not be allowed in the buildings. Number 3, we recommend that masks be worn in our buildings. Number 4, groups of less than 10 can reserve a room at church for their gatherings. They can do this by calling the church office and reserving a room. Rooms will be disinfected after each group. Number 5, traditional recovery groups larger than 10 persons can resume meeting out of doors. We are asking that they use appropriate social distancing measures. Number 6, all worship services, along with children's, youth, adult recovery ministries larger than 10 persons, will continue to meet online. Our online ministry guide will keep you up to date on our ministries at each campus. Number 7, our Small Wonders preschool at the Cape Coral campus will reopen following DCF and CDC regulations. In the weeks to come, as more information is known, we will take our next steps. During this time, we ask you to pray for all of us. In the spirit of thinking biblically, we want to remind you that the church is not a building, but a people. The children's song says it best. I am the church, you are the church, we are the church together. All who follow Jesus, all around the world. Yes, we're the church together. Friends, we are the church, and we all miss meeting together at our physical church locations. Also, remember that the church is of God and is kept by God. For 2,000 years, the people of God have endured persecution, fighting within, corrupt church leaders, disease and disaster, and yet the movement of Jesus continues. Let's continue to stay safe, love our neighbors well, stay on mission as we partner with God in transforming people from unbelievers to fully devoted disciples of Jesus to the glory of God. Thank you, and God bless you.